I think for the first time since Saturday night, we can take a breath. Like, we've made it over the line, because starting on Saturday night, whether we were asleep or awake, that is when the news of Luka came down, and then everything kind of went to hell in a handbasket after that. Chris Hassel, Amanda Guerra, Ashley Nicole Moss, Brad Bach, and Evan Turner here. We're going to go winners and losers. Brad, we're going to start with you. Your biggest winner, or at least one of them.
It's not even close. It's Rob Pelinka. This guy was about to get run out of town. They win a championship. First of all, LeBron just shows up for him. He did not show up because of Rob Pelinka. He wanted to move to Los Angeles, so he gets out. And then because LeBron is there, he ends up with Anthony Davis. That gets him a championship. And then he dumps Alex Caruso and Dwight Howard and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and all these reasons that they want, and he's been catching hell ever since. He signs Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony and Montrezl Harrell, and he can't get anything right. And all of a sudden, the Mavericks just call him up. That's the key here.
Nico called him.
That's the key. He didn't even pursue this stuff. The ESPN reports that Nico called him up and said, do you want to go get coffee? This guy thought he was going to get coffee and came out with Luka Doncic, okay? For one draft pick. He actually left him over enough to go and get Mark Williams. After he got Luka, then they asked him, well, there's a hole on the Lakers. You don't have a center. He says, well, I'm looking at the market. It's pretty dry out there. We're probably going to have to wait for the offseason. Hornets. Mind you, the same team that gave the Lakers Kobe Bryant. The Hornets say, no, 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 we got exactly what you need. They call up Rob Pelinka.
Rob is busy with movers, to be honest with you. He's like, I'm on my way out.
I'm telling you, this guy, all he's doing is picking up the phone, and he's going to end up with Executive of the Year. It's unbelievable. These teams are just calling at every turn in the Lakers' history. Somebody has showed up to save the day. Wilt showed up, then they got Kareem, then Magic showed up, then Shaq and Kobe showed up, then LeBron showed up, and Pelinka just picking up the phone. It's unbelievable to me, and he's going to get all the credit. The credit goes to the people who made the call. Unbelievable.
And that leads us right to Ashley's loser.
Yeah, the loser is the one who made the phone call.
Exactly.
That would be Nico Harrison. Evan, cover your ears. Nico, the ego, as they're calling him in Dallas, because he traded away a generational player in
Offered to trade it.
at 25 years old.
And
He wasn't. Nobody inquired about Luka. Nobody picked up the phone and said, "Hey, Dallas, are you interested in trading Luka?" He picked up the phone.
Yeah, it would have been
and
insulting
said,
to call and say, "Can I have Luka?"
Let's go to Starbucks, Rob. Listen, over their little cafe macchiatos, whatever they drink, I'm going to give you Luka. Rob's like, you're going to give me who?
What was left of Rob's coffee was in the trade. Like, I'll give you Luka for Anthony Davis and the rest of your coffee.
I will tell you this, and because it's going to happen, and we were on set with Jenny when I said this. Once upon a time, the Boston Red Sox traded away a player by the name
No. And this hurt my soul when you said this.
Babe Ruth. They sold Babe Ruth to the Yankees.
This would usually be hyperbole.
What happened?
This is absolutely
the perfect scenario. Okay,
This is absolutely
sold
relevant.
Babe Ruth to the Yankees, and the curse of the Bambino began. And they suffered for a very long time.
And I'll bet you there was people saying Babe Ruth was overweight. That's what I'm telling you. I bet you they were saying, Babe, Boston don't want Babe. He drink too much beer. We got to get him out of here.
Nico, I'm telling you right now, the Dallas Mavericks and all the bad that is going to come to this organization is on your head.
Yeah, witness protection for Nico.
For sure. Nico the ego.
Nico,
Also,
you can still come to my wedding.
Very interesting. The Mavericks season ticket holders, I think their annual dinner is tomorrow. They've already been issuing some refunds to people who have asked.
Show up.
You gotta wonder, is he gonna show up? Are they still doing the dinner? I am very curious. Just for some little bit of drama in Dallas. Evan, let's go to your winner from the trade deadline.
I think my winner, to be honest with you, is the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think I'm a big fan of DeAndre Hunter. Obviously, that backcourt was already unreal with Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Now you give them a legit three-man that can average 15, 16, 17 points and guard the other team's best player. But once again, this is, DeAndre Hunter been playing like a man all year. He's been on a tear all year. Physically, he's imposing. The people on the West Coast that, probably don't know who he is, man, tune in. This is going to be a big spring for him. He's stepping up.
Cavs still alone in first place in the Eastern Conference, 5 games clear of everybody else. Let's go out west for Ashley's winner, and it's a team trying to fight their way into the postseason for the first time in a while, and they made a move that might help them get there.
I'm not going to go with Luka and the Lakers because that's an easy easy way out. I'm actually going to go San Antonio. I like what they're building in San Antonio. Obviously, their timetable is sped up in which they have to make moves because of a guy named Wemby. And I think that they have really made that with this guy right here, De'Aaron Fox. I think Wemby is going to flourish having a ball handler like De'Aaron Fox, a young guy like De'Aaron Fox, that they can both grow together. Chris Paul, the point guard, is fantastic, but Chris Paul doesn't have many more years left that he's going to play. When you talk about De'Aaron Fox and Wemby, I think you talk about a duo that can really exist in the NBA for seasons and seasons to come. The Spurs have a really good reputation of building out teams and not putting themselves in a deficit that will prevent them from making moves each and every season. Wemby deserves that. They're going to give this to Wemby. You don't get a player, Nico, listen to me. You don't get a player like Wemby, a generational player, and don't do right by him. You do everything you need to keep him happy, and that's what they're doing in San Antonio.
The thing with Fox, too, is pace. The pace that the Spurs are going to play at. Chris Paul's teams play slow, and the thing that makes a bunch of things make Wemby different, but the thing that really makes him different is the way he can move, full court and in the half court. Yeah. To speed the game up is really going to make him even more trouble to deal with.
But this actually goes to your loser, which is the team that sent De'Aaron Fox over there.
Yeah, and this goes, all roads lead back to Luka Doncic in this trade deadline. And the reason the Kings are I actually think the Kings, they have talent. I mean, Domantas Sabonis got snubbed in the All-Star situation. Again, this guy's a top 10 MVP player. Zach LaVine's having a great year. DeMar DeRozan's great. Malik Monk, they have a good team. So the reason that they're my loser is because of the history, and it traces back to this team could have drafted Luka Doncic. They took Marvin Bagley. But that was like,
go back to the biggest loser.
But that's where it starts. They have De'Aaron Fox, they have something nice cooking, they draft Tyrese Halliburton. They get rid of Tyrese Halliburton because they have De'Aaron Fox. And then they lose De'Aaron Fox. But the Sacramento Kings, for all intents and purposes, have had their hands on Luka Doncic, Tyrese Halliburton, and De'Aaron Fox. And now they got none of them. That's a tough, tough pill to swallow. And I don't understand all the circumstances. I know there's a lot of factors in play, but at the end of the day, the Kings had their hands on 3 unbelievable players. And they lost all of them.
The theme is so dim right now.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Chicago Bulls, and that's Evan's loser, because the Bulls had their hands on 3 guys that they thought that they could have at least a playoff run at some point. It never happened with Caruso, DeRozan, and LaVine. Now they're all gone, and what do the Bulls have for it?
Nothing. I mean, they basically got their own pick back from a couple years ago, but when
that's the only pick.
Yeah, when LaVine, Caruso, and DeRozan were hot at a high level, they held on to the assets too long and screwed the pooch.
Shout out to Lonzo Ball, though, still standing.
You know, they didn't screw the pooch, they screwed the pooch.
Yeah, they screwed the pooch.
Vooch is the only one left. Vooch is the only one left. I thought he was going to the Warriors.
It is actually really sad, though, because Chicago, for a very, very small window in time.
For 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Evan was talking about it.
Lonzo's a top 5 point guard.
They really looked like they were changing the corner, and they were going to become the Chicago Bulls, not of the past, but they were going to bring the organization into the modern NBA, and it just went so bad.
And they play with energy. They play tough defense. They had like the crowd behind them and I almost bought a T-shirt. This close.
Oh, I love that.
Bought a T-shirt.
Very quickly.
I thought they would get rid of Kobe White, too, because they're not going anywhere. I thought Kobe White could have helped a team like Dallas that needs another point guard. They hang on to him.
Yeah. Okay, I was told I can't ask my question because we have to get off set. Okay, sorry. No, okay, as you look at this, we'll get it under this. I want one team name from the East and the West. With everything that's happened, who comes out of the East, who comes out of the West? Evan, we'll start with you.
All right, coming out of the East is the Celtics. Coming out of the West, I will give it to the Lakers.
Is this a question?
Okay. Yeah, I want to know.
Okay, it's the Thunder. The Thunder is still the best. I mean,
I still
getting
Chet Holmgren back tomorrow.
We talked about Kawhi being a huge pickup. They're getting Chet Holmgren, the second best rim protector in the league.
Thunder.
OKC and Boston's still the team in the East.
I'm sticking with the pick I made at the start of the season. Give me OKC and give me the New York Knicks.
Was there a team that you think did who changed your opinion of them the most? I don't know if it's the Lakers because they were Anthony Davis, Luka. I mean near term. I mean this season. Who changed your mind the most?
Well, right now it's the Lakers.
So
it's the Lakers.
Yeah.
I love the pickup with Mark Williams. This opens up everything for Luka. He is at his best with the vertical lob threat. This opens up everything. I love that.
Gentlemen, I'm hearing that we need to check in with our senior insider, Shams Charania. He has some breaking news out of Phoenix. Shams, what more can you tell us?
Malika, the Phoenix Suns have informed all interested teams they are not moving Kevin Durant. Obviously, the Warriors started this all off with their pursuit of Kevin Durant last week. There was some level of an engagement, and several more teams called today. But the Suns made a trade today, trade away Jusuf Nurkic, brought in a couple potential role players. They want to see how this team looks for the second half of the season. Kevin Durant did not expect his name to be in any trade rumors. He has not requested a trade out of Phoenix this season, from my understanding, and was blindsided by even being involved in any conversation. I am also told there will be a full evaluation of this team if they are not able to turn it around by the offseason.
Shams, thank you so very much. So after all of those conversations, Kevin Durant will remain with the Phoenix Suns. We appreciate you stopping by once again. Bob, what is a full evaluation? What is that?
I don't know. I mean, first of all, like forming a league with 1 minute. Shams is great at what he does. I'm sure he just heard that because we did breaking news. So Phoenix alerted the league with 2 minutes to go on the clock. We are not open. It's kind of like
exactly.
Okay, you know.
I wasn't able to get a deal.
Yeah, that's what that means. That's what that means.
So if I call right now, I'm out. Yeah, I guess we're not listening anymore. Full evaluation. That's the big words, but every team's doing full evaluations. What makes this different is Kevin Durant's name was thrown out.
Yeah.
The world knows it. He knows it. He didn't ask for it. That makes you feel a certain way. And the team is going to play, and he loves basketball. Kevin's going to go play.
Oh, ultimate hooper super.
And then at the end of the season, I guess the good news is nobody's going to be wondering. He'll know how they finished, and if it didn't work, hopefully he can say, well, I tried, you guys tried, now let's do this together. I guess that's the full evaluation.
This was such a rough couple of days for the Suns. They went into this thinking they could get Jimmy Butler for Bradley Beal, extend Jimmy Butler, extend Kevin Durant, swap out Nurkic for Jonas Valanciunas, actually a guy who could help them right now and improve their team.
But Whitney, how are they going to get Jimmy Butler without moving Bradley Beal?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but really, even the idea of it, though.
Bob,
okay,
they believed they could do it. They were wrong. They believed they could do it, and they couldn't. And then they thought, okay, well, maybe we can get KD. They couldn't. The Valanciunas trade passed. They couldn't. And now they're talking about full evaluations at the end of the season.
Yeah, let's just take.
And now we have 5, 4, 3, 2. My friends, the 2025 NBA trade deadline, it has come and it has gone. I think we can all take a step back for just 1 second here and say, oh, this was a wild ride. Who saw Luka Doncic being traded to the Los Angeles Lakers when this week began? AD being on his way to the Dallas Mavericks. De'Aaron Fox heading to San Antonio. And maybe somehow the most shocking of all in some ways was that now we are going to be having this conversation, to your point, for the next 6 months about what's going to happen with Kevin Durant, because his name was not even close to the tip of anybody's tongue a week and a half ago. And now there is going to be a full reevaluation for the rest of the season, and it's going to be an uphill battle for them.
They've also got a difficult schedule, a very difficult schedule coming up. Let's just see what happens with the Suns in these next few weeks.
Well,
talk about needing leadership.
Well, first of all, who's going to call the Come to Jesus meeting? Because
I was just going to say that.
It's one that's needed.
Okay, what would you guys do?
It's happening.
I'm not, just tell me. I'm not.
No, ain't nothing changing. Shams said if something changes.
Yeah, no, but when you say you call the meeting,
they're going to have that meeting.
Well, what I'm saying is you got to have one of them uncomfortable conversations that say, hey, look, we need to ride this out for the rest of the season. This is our roles. Don't get into the whole side of, was you in the one in the office pushing for me to get traded? You know it already, right? So now you got to make sure you have Bradley Beal feel as comfortable as you possibly can, right? Like, hey, man, look, the trust is broken. How can you get through the rest of the season?
Listen, the conversation,
all players.
Just players.
No coaches.
Okay, no coaches. And you say to the players, like,